Do you know how much investigation ID I watch? Do you know how much true crime I watch? You can't get away with nothing!
16-year-old Jacine Smith's mother could never have imagined what she was about to uncover. When she saw police lights flashing and detectives asking questions, she didn't think it would lead back to her own child.
Jesus, there's cameras everywhere. My child is smarter than that.
But within hours, everything would change. A quiet Florida suburb was about to become the center of a heartbreaking and horrifying mystery involving high school students, betrayal, and a life cut tragically short.
You know what I have to do, right? That I have to hurt you. Like, I have to get you back for what you did.
It all began on Sunday, October 17th, 2021. Dwight D.J. Grant, an 18-year-old senior at Miramar High School in Broward County, Florida, disappeared without warning. He was a smart, respectful student, looking forward to his upcoming homecoming and graduation. His friends described him as quiet and responsible. He didn't drink, he didn't smoke, and he always kept in touch with his family whenever he went out.
Do you know the girl that he's talking to or trying to talk to?
No.
No, does he have a girlfriend?
Not to my knowledge, no.
No? Okay. All right. Okay, so you haven't spoken to him since
Sunday.
Is this his behavior? Like, does he do it? He's a good kid?
He's a good kid. He doesn't drink. He doesn't smoke. If he goes out, he has a plan. He goes out with his friends. He calls literally all of us all the time to let us know, like, what's up, how you are.
Okay.
So when he suddenly stopped answering calls and texts, everyone knew something was terribly wrong. His mother, Malene Emile, reported him missing that very day. By Monday, friends and family were handing out flyers and searching nearby neighborhoods on foot. The fear grew with every passing hour. By Tuesday, October 19th, around 2 p.m., officers searching near Sherman Circle North in Miramar made a shocking discovery. In the bushes behind an apartment complex, not far from Dwight's home, they found a body. The location was suspicious, only about 30 feet from Dwight's apartment. Bloodstains on the sidewalk led investigators straight to the gruesome scene, almost as if the crime was waiting to be uncovered.
Please, just give us a few minutes and we'll come in and talk to you. Just go back inside, please. In a few minutes, an officer will come talk to you. Go back inside. Can you just, please, take her inside.
The body had 2 stab wounds, one in the neck and another in the chest. Although it hadn't been officially identified yet, the description matched Dwight. His loved ones were devastated.
Pues eso happened aquí abajo.
Aquí abajo. Sí. Ahí abajo del stairwell que está ahí, había mucha sangre and you can see that probablemente están tratando de limpiarlo. Hay una cámara aquí, hay 2 cámaras aquí, y hay una cámara en esa esquina donde lo tiraron.
Sunday.
On Sunday, he went missing Sunday.
As detectives closed off the scene and continued collecting evidence, emotions ran high. Nearby, someone close to Dwight was seen crying, but police couldn't yet confirm the victim's identity.
So go around in the middle, go up to the 2nd floor, and put it across. So there's no one goes down the stairwell.
Okay.
That way.
For now, they asked everyone to step back and wait. While the investigation continued, something unexpected happened. People started contacting the police station with tips. The phones at Miramar Police Headquarters rang non-stop.
If somebody pulls the video from the place, I already have some tips
Where's your car at?
right here.
Okay.
I just need to see who was there doing it because they're probably...
The office.
But then, one woman walked in holding something that would crack the case wide open, her niece's group chat messages.
Can you just give me a brief rundown? I'm so sorry.
Of what's going on?
Yeah, because I know
I only know I've seen on the news that they found a body over by Sherman Circle, and they keep showing the picture of the kid that goes to Miramar High, saying they can't guarantee that it's him, basically, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
But on my niece's phone, all the texts are coming through that they're her friends. And there's people from school there, and they know it's him.
Okay.
I don't know that. I don't know unless...
No, I
I'm just
understand.
assuming that it's him because of what...
So did he speak to a detective or anything like that?
No, I haven't spoken to anybody.
The chat, filled with texts from teens at Miramar High, mentioned Dwight and what had happened to him. The woman hadn't spoken to detectives yet, but after seeing the texts and recognizing the boy in the news, she feared the worst. The teens in the messages weren't just talking about the incident. They seemed to know exactly what had happened and who was involved. In a matter of days, the truth about Dwight Grant's disappearance began to unfold. And shockingly, at the heart of it all was a girl whose own mother had no idea she was capable of such darkness until it was too late.
I just came here because my niece was telling me that she had got these texts from this girl yesterday from the modeling, and she said it was the most traumatizing day of her life when she seen him yesterday, which would have been Sunday.
The case of Dwight DJ Grant's disappearance had already shaken the community. But on October 20th, 2021, things took a dramatic turn. A woman showed up at the police station with something that couldn't be ignored: her niece's group chat messages.
Like her to associate
right.
with, okay.
Right, so it needs to be kind of, if you,
No, I understand.
please, if you can just write on there not to put her name in there,
Sure.
just in case this girl literally is who she says she
You're
is.
fine. You're fine. No, I
She's a senior
understand.
and I want my niece to make it out of school.
The texts weren't just disturbing. They were specific, too detailed, and far too casual for the horrifying topic they discussed. Her niece had received the messages from another teenage girl who claimed that Sunday, the same day Dwight disappeared, was the most traumatizing day of her life. The girl mentioned seeing Dwight that day and hinted at something terrible. While the aunt wasn't accusing anyone directly, she felt uneasy.
I understand. You guys are good.
All
All right. And anything else? This is my area. If you got more things you want to turn in, I'll be here. All right, I'm here until 1.
Yeah, that's just the words that you put there.
It's just
They say, if you say something or see something, say it, and it just doesn't sit right with me. So I had to come and.
No, I completely understand. Anytime, ladies, okay?
Thank you so much.
She explained that this girl often bragged about being in a gang and claimed to have hurt people before. Whether she was telling the truth or just trying to look tough didn't matter anymore. The timing and content of her messages couldn't be ignored. The aunt wanted to protect her niece, making it clear she didn't want her name involved. Still, she knew she had to come forward. Something just didn't feel right, and those messages might help solve the case. Police took her concerns seriously. The group chat messages revealed the names of 3 teens: 17-year-old Andre Dexter Clemens, 16-year-old Jacine Smith, and 17-year-old Christine Parisian. Suddenly, this wasn't just a missing person case. These students from Miramar High were no longer on the sidelines. They were now prime suspects. That same day, detectives moved quickly. Their first stop was Christine Parisian's home. When they arrived, only her mother was there.
Miramar Police Department.
Yes.
How you doing, ma'am?
I'm waiting for my sister to go over there. What happened?
Are you the only one here?
Christy?
Is Christy here?
No.
Are you Christy?
No.
Oh, okay.
That's my daughter.
No, I'm saying, is anybody else in the house?
No.
Okay. You mind talking to us outside for a minute?
She had no idea her daughter's name had come up in a murder investigation. The officers explained the situation and told her that, for now, no one was allowed back into the apartment.
Do you mind talking to us? I'm Detective Woods here.
Hello.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Good.
I heard the message. I was at work. I don't know. I don't have why. I'm waiting for my sister to go over there. I got the message.
You got the, come over here.
What happened?
I just need to speak to you over here for a second.
Oh, Lord.
Although she wasn't under arrest, the police wouldn't let her re-enter until they secured a search warrant to prevent any evidence from being tampered with.
But we have to keep everybody out of the apartment. So if there's anybody else in there that's in there,
No, the sister, she's at work right now.
but nobody else is inside.
No, only
What,
two
you
of
got
us.
you got shoes on? Okay.
There's nobody else inside right now?
No.
Okay. So we have detectives that are going to get a search warrant. Okay. So right now, we're just going to make sure nobody's inside, and then we're going to close the door. And then we're going to wait for the warrant to get here. And then,
When I come back.
Christine's mother waited outside with the officers. She stayed calm and cooperative throughout the entire process.
No, not today.
yeah.
Can I take my phone to call my sister? Is it okay? Take my phone? My phone is right there. Can I call her? Because I'm working on her to
Well,
go.
right now at this point, we already gave you, notice that nobody can go back inside.
Can you take my phone for me? This is right there. By the way, you see my phone right there?
we really got to follow protocol on this one.
Oh my God.
She even let one officer listen to a voice message Christine had left earlier. While she didn't have many details to share, she mentioned that she had been trying to get in touch with her daughter all day. Her concern was growing. Christine was 17, still a minor, and if the police wanted to question her, Her mother had every right to be there with her.
Hi, Mom. Yes. And I don't know why my family is going to go to the police station, make my full statement. I'll be back soon, and I don't have my phone because they took my phone. So, okay.
Before leaving, the officers took her phone number so they could reach out when Christine was found. Later that night, just before midnight, the investigation led officers to the home of Jacine Smith.
I mean, honestly, you go to the police station, they're not going to tell you anything. How old is your daughter?
What's your name? What now?
How old is she?
She's 17.
Oh, she's a junior. I mean, you can do what you want. I just don't want you to go too far.
She was there with her mother when police approached. This meeting would reveal critical information. Jacine admitted that she was told to push Dwight and make sure he didn't leave the apartment. Her mother was shocked and wanted the truth. She couldn't believe her daughter was involved in something so dark. She kept asking whether this would link her son to the crime too, but officers focused on getting clarity from Jacine. The police were starting to piece things together.
Did you hurt this person? No, I didn't. Because I don't hit you or anything. Do you know how much investigation I watch? Do you know how much true crime I watch? You can't get away with nothing. Jesus, there's cameras everywhere. My child is smarter than that. I was just told to push him and make sure he stayed in the corner.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear it.
I was just told to push him and make sure he stayed in the corner.
Jacine's involvement seemed to match the disturbing details in the group chat. The texts weren't just teenage gossip, they were pieces of a plan. As investigators continued their work, the roles of each suspect became clearer. The discovery of Dwight Grant's body and the information pouring in pointed to a terrifying truth. The people responsible weren't strangers. They were classmates, trusted teens, and now at the center of a murder investigation.
I've been 100% honest with you.
I know.
100%.
I know, but I need to know, like, does this implicate my child in this action of what happened?
I don't know exactly what happened. You're telling me that you were told to do something? I don't know what you did. I don't know what you didn't do.
She said that she was told to keep him in a corner. Andre. Okay.
From the very beginning, Jacine Smith didn't hold anything back. As she sat next to her mother, she mentioned a name detectives had already heard, Andre. That name had come up in the disturbing group chat messages that sparked the investigation.
He told me it was just a fight.
I want to make sure that you both understand, because I've said this already to you in the past, that you guys don't have to stay here. You do not have to talk to me.
Are you going to arrest my child?
No, I'm not going to arrest your child. I'm not. But I want to make sure that you understand that, because she is 16. I'm being completely honest with you. I want to hear what she has to say, but I wanted to reiterate, because I said it to you and she wasn't here. That's all. Okay? Do you understand? Do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying, but I don't want to go to some police station and leave without my daughter.
I'm just saying we don't have to. We have to hold this house, but you guys don't have to stay here. That's all I'm saying.
Now, with Jacine confirming his involvement, detectives had another piece of the puzzle, but they needed more, and Jacine seemed ready to talk. She explained how Andre had approached her days before the incident. He said someone had disrespected him by getting involved with a girl he liked, and he needed backup for what he claimed would be a fight. Jacine, thinking it was nothing more than a physical confrontation, agreed to help him. They had been friends, and to her, it seemed like something she could manage. But as Jacine shared more, her mother slowly began to understand that this wasn't typical teenage drama. It was real. Jacine explained how Andre had told her to dress in all black, wear gloves, and cover her face. He said it was just to avoid being recognized, and she went along with it.
He told me to dress up in all black and follow him.
Andre?
I wore a do-rag and everything. He just said, do this for me. Just help me out with a fight. It's fine. We walked all the way there and walked up the stairwell. And Chrissy was there. Chrissy had seduced him from what I know. I was trying to just pretend and forget that it didn't happen. I already knew that if something like this was going to happen, I already knew the cops were going to show up sooner or later. And I already started preparing myself for the worst, Mom. What do you mean by preparing yourself for the worst? If they send me away, Mom.
She believed it was simply to hide during the fight, not knowing the full extent of what was planned.
So I'd like for you to kind of tell me step by step on how everything occurred, you know, from how it all started, how you even got notified or whatever, and then moving forward from there.
Yes.
Okay? And just take your time with it, you know, step by step as best as you can.
Before Sunday, before he came over.
Who's he?
Andre.
Andre's from school also?
Yes.
You know his last name?
Clements.
Clements?
Clements.
M-M-E-T-S? Okay. Is he, what grade is he in?
He's a senior.
A senior?
This year.
Okay.
On Sunday evening, Andre came to Jacine's apartment around 6:45 p.m. He laid out the entire plan. Jacine, Andre, and their friend Christy got dressed in dark clothes, wore gloves and masks, and told Jacine's mom they were going out for a walk.
All right, so you were saying...
Before he ever came over, he told me on Friday, I believe it was Friday, that he had a situation that he needed to deal with, and he was wondering if I could help him out with a fight. Me knowing that I used to fight in elementary and used to be a bad kid-ish outside of school, I had agreed because he's a good friend of mine and like it's just a fight.
Okay.
They left the complex and followed a carefully chosen route that Andre claimed would avoid surveillance cameras. Andre seemed calm but focused. He gave instructions on how to move through the area and explained where to stand to stay out of sight.
So, on to Sunday, he had said he was going to be coming over at around 6.
Okay.
He came over at least 6:45, close to 7 o'clock.
Okay.
And he had proceeded to tell me the whole scenario of, we're going to get dressed in all black. You're going to wear clothes that you don't care about. You're going to wear gloves. You're going to wear do-rag. I know the whole layout of the building and everything that we need to do this.
Jacine thought the precautions were a bit much for a simple fight, but she trusted Andre. As they approached the apartment building, Christy stayed behind to lure Dwight outside. Meanwhile, Jacine and Andre waited nearby. Once Christy signaled that Dwight was on his way, Andre handed Jacine a weapon and asked her to hold it. He then approached Dwight and confronted him. As Dwight tried to run, Jacine said she put the weapon down and helped Andre tackle him. What she thought would be a scuffle quickly turned into something much darker.
Mom had gone home. We had told her that we were going to go on a walk. We had left the house immediately with me, Andre, and Chrissy, and we had left the complex all the way down. He was explaining to me.
Andre began to speak angrily to Dwight, saying he needed to hurt him for what he had done. Dwight pleaded with them to stop. He promised not to say anything and begged for mercy. Jacine still believed it would end in a punch or two, but things escalated quickly. The scene turned violent, and Dwight was clearly in pain. In one of the most disturbing moments, Jacine revealed that Dwight, overwhelmed by pain and fear, begged them to end his life. He asked to be choked or killed because he couldn't take the suffering anymore. This moment confirmed what investigators feared. This was never just a fight. It was a brutal, premeditated act. Jacine's confession shocked even the most experienced detectives. She explained every step of the plan, from how they dressed to the route they took, and how they tried to avoid being seen. It was clear the teens had planned every detail.
We had on all black from head to toe. We had on our hoodies. We had on do-rags to cover our eyebrows and facial hair and things like that.
Okay.
We had masks on as well. We had walked out and...
COVID mask?
Yeah. So we had walked out and we were... Immediately when we got in there, We had walked over to where the staircase was, the stairwell was, while even telling me to move this way to avoid the camera and to avoid being seen.
Okay.
They even took measures afterward to cover their tracks and hide what had happened. What began as one teen trying to help a friend with a fight ended with a murder and a horrifying truth that shattered families, ruined young lives, and revealed just how far things had gone. For investigators, Jacine's confession wasn't just emotional. It was the final confirmation of a crime that stunned an entire community. After revealing the role she played in luring Dwight to his death, Jacine continued to speak openly. She recalled that after the violence had taken place, Christy was told to get cleaning supplies. At this point, Jacine admitted she was starting to panic. Her gloves were torn, and her nerves were growing. But she didn't show it. On the outside, she tried to appear calm, hoping no one would notice that she was scared. Inside, she was overwhelmed. She convinced herself to go along with whatever they said, unsure of what would happen next.
Me and him were upstairs. He's just talking to me. We're relaxed. We're chill. And then he got a signal from Chrissy to walk downstairs. We walk downstairs, and he tells me to wait on the top of the stairs. And he had a weapon with him. He told me to hold the weapon. We had gloves on at this time, so we had walked down the stairs. He had approached the boy, and Chrissy had moved back and walked down the stairs.
Did you know this boy or no? Okay.
Though Jacine's story appeared detailed and organized, detectives noticed something odd. One particular moment where her account contradicted itself. That moment cracked the surface of what seemed like a carefully constructed version of events. She slipped up when she admitted helping Andre move Dwight's body under a camera and into some bushes nearby. She said they were both exhausted and hadn't eaten, and Andre told her to just leave him there, and they would deal with him later.
I had helped Andre move him a certain direction under the cameras, under the one camera that we saw right there, and into the bushes. And at this time, we both had not eaten. We both were exhausted, so he's like, push him back here into the bushes and just leave him there. We'll figure out what to do with him at a different time. And I'm just like, okay, because prior to this, he had told me that this was the first person he had ever killed.
Then came a detail that changed everything. Jacine revealed that Andre had already told her it would be his first time killing someone. She claimed this was discussed before the attack, during their earlier conversations at the house. With that statement, she confirmed that she had known Andre was planning to kill Dwight all along. She quickly tried to walk it back, but the damage was done. The detectives now had proof that this was not a misunderstanding or an act of self-defense. This was premeditated murder. Jacine's confession didn't stop there.
Prior to the Antolia?
When we were at the house, when we were just talking about the whole plan of what to do, what was going to happen, but he never told me that he was going to kill somebody until at this time. You know, like, this is the first person. I'm going to leave it here. I'll ask Chrissy. We're going to leave.
When asked about the weapon used in the killing, she identified it as a knife at first. But later she revealed something even more shocking. She said the weapon was actually a sword. This surprised detectives who couldn't understand how a large weapon like that could be transported without anyone noticing. They pressed her for more information.
You had said that the weapon that Andre was using, he used it to stab the boy. I'm assuming it's a knife then that he had?
There's a knife and there is a longer.
A longer what?
Sword.
A sword. Okay. Do you know what ended up happening with those?
She explained that when Andre first arrived at her home, he had brought a collection of smaller weapons. These were kept in his pockets or a bag. The larger sword, she believed, was either carried in that same bag or hidden in an extra jacket, possibly with Christy. She said she didn't see the sword directly at first, but she assumed it was with them.
When he first came here, before all this started, right? When he first showed up at your house, he got here with, you said it was a collection, right? The small ones was a part of a collection?
The small ones I didn't see, but they were like either in his pocket or in the bag that he had brought.
Okay. And I guess one of them stayed behind, and then he took one small one, and then the big sword also.
Jacine then gave more details about what happened after the stabbing. She claimed the murder took place under the staircase of the apartment complex. Afterward, the teenagers dragged Dwight's body into the nearby bushes. They wrapped the weapons in a bag, and she hid them inside her jacket. Later, in a desperate attempt to erase any trace of what had happened, they tried to destroy the evidence. According to Jacine, they lit a bonfire near the lake facing the apartment complex. It was there that they tried to burn the items they believed could tie them to the murder, but what they didn't know was that someone had seen them. A witness had watched the entire scene unfold. That person had noticed 3 teenagers near the fire and paid attention to their behavior. The witness saw the 2 girls standing mostly still, one of them nervously shifting in place. The boy, however, moved around the fire, pouring liquid from plastic squeeze bottles that looked like ketchup containers, commonly used for grilling.
The guy was moving around the fire, just throwing more gasoline.
What was he? What did you see him throw?
It was like a bottle. It was like the normal bottles that.
Like a bottle that you use for like a barbecue, or
yeah,
like
yeah. Like it looked like I don't have a water bottle, but it just looked like one of those normal bottles with like, you know how it's like when you go to a restaurant, it's like ketchup.
Okay.
Yeah, like.
The fire grew larger as he kept adding fuel. The witness recalled seeing them throw in materials that didn't look natural. It wasn't anything like a dead animal. It appeared to be fabric or clothing, something man-made. That moment raised the witness's suspicion.
Because we have like a lot of ducks. It didn't look like they killed a duck or something. It looked like it was a material that they were doing.
Okay, like material. Like clothes, something of material type. Okay. And did you recognize any of them?
No, because it was pretty far, but
Although the fire was burning at a distance, the witness remembered the shapes and postures of the teens clearly. They didn't recognize their faces at the time, but later, when they saw the suspects' images on the news, they immediately connected them to what they had seen that night.
Seeing them on the news, their faces, that's when you could
remember that they were the same ones that you saw that night.
Yes.
Okay, and then when you saw that fire happening, what did you decide to do after that?
Honestly, since they were doing it on the grass, I felt kind of unsafe that they would probably go to a certain point to spread the fire because they're teenagers.
One of the girls, described as having a noticeable build and braided hair, stood out the most. It was that recognition that gave detectives even more reason to believe Jacine's account. The witness didn't stay silent. They reported the fire to the complex's security guard. Their concern was also about safety. Teenagers playing with fire on the grass could lead to something much worse.
See their face, but I saw their body shape, and seeing them on the photos, you could picture them, especially the chubby girl. It was very noticeable. I could see her braids.
Okay.
And the kids.
And you did alert the security guard of the fire.
Yes.
And that's when he was made aware. Okay.
After reporting it, the witness quickly returned to their apartment and watched from their balcony. But by then, the teenagers had already disappeared. All that remained was a large patch of burnt grass, proof that something had happened there.
No, not really. I just saw their emotions, and right when I came to my apartment, they were.
What did they appear like?
You could feel the traumatization from them, and you could feel like they were scared, but you could also feel like they had that energy of the way of thinking like he deserved it. Like you could notice that.
As detectives continued investigating, they followed every lead. They needed hard evidence to support Jacine's confession and the witness statement. That's when they found a breakthrough: surveillance footage from the apartment complex. What they saw was more than they expected. The CCTV footage offered visual proof to match Jacine's story. From the moment the teens arrived at the scene to their movements in and around the stairwell, everything was caught on camera. It showed how they tried to avoid certain areas, how they dressed, and how the timeline of events unfolded. Each frame brought them closer to confirming what had really happened that night.
You could notice that.
Okay.
And right when I went to my apartment, I immediately went to my balcony to see if they were still there, but they were gone really fast.
Right. And all you saw was
all I saw was the burnt grass.
This video evidence, combined with Jacine's confession and the witness report, created a chilling picture of what took place. The murder of Dwight Grant was not a spontaneous act. It was planned, carried out, and covered up by 3 teenagers who believed they could get away with it. As the investigation pressed on, the emotions grew heavier. Families were left devastated. A mother had lost her son. Another mother had to face the terrifying truth that her child had taken part in something unspeakable. And a community was left asking how something like this could happen among high school students. Jacine's confession, once guarded and vague, had turned into a full recounting of a crime that shocked everyone involved. What started as a simple request from a friend ended in a brutal murder and a desperate attempt to bury the truth. But in the end, the truth couldn't stay hidden. Too many people had seen too much, and the evidence was impossible to ignore. The video confirmed everything the eyewitness had said. It clearly showed Christy, Jacine, and Andre at the scene, not just present, but actively working to cover up their crime. They were seen carrying what appeared to be evidence and setting it on fire. This wasn't a misunderstanding or an accident. It was a deliberate act of destruction meant to erase what they had done. But what shook detectives the most was that the footage didn't match Jacine's earlier story. She had tried to downplay her role, saying she barely knew what was happening. The video showed otherwise. Jacine was right in the middle of everything. It captured her helping move Dwight's body and being fully involved throughout. Her attempts to distance herself from the crime had fallen apart. Then came the most chilling part of all. The surveillance footage showed Dwight Grant's final moments alive. It captured him walking down the staircase inside the complex, his last steps before the attack. What followed was the teenagers dragging his lifeless body into the bushes nearby. Everything was caught on camera, leaving no way to deny or rewrite what had happened. Police began searching the teens' phones looking for more evidence. Jacine had claimed it was just a fight, nothing more. But the texts they found told a very different story. One message in particular sent a chill through investigators. "Murder will definitely happen soon." These were not the words of someone unaware. They were words of someone who saw what was coming and took part in it anyway. On November 5th, 2021, all 3 teenagers, Jacine Smith, Christy Parisian, and Andre Clemens, were arrested. Prosecutors decided to charge them as adults. All 3 faced charges for conspiracy and tampering with evidence. But the charges went further for the girls. Jacine and Christy were both charged with second-degree murder.
She struck him plenty of times with his fist and then once with a sword.
Was he begging for his life?
Yes.
At any point, did you try and talk Andre out of this course of action?
No.
Why not?
I didn't feel it was my place.
Were you afraid for your safety if you did so?
Yeah.
Andre, accused of planning the entire attack and delivering the fatal blow, faced the most serious charge, first-degree murder.
She stood right in my face and said she didn't know what happened to my son. She stood right in my face. I don't know if he was still alive, but I could.
Christy's lawyer argued that she didn't know Dwight was going to be killed, that she had only lured him out of his apartment and nothing more. But the evidence told a darker truth. Investigators found hundreds of messages that showed she was fully aware. One message from her read that she wanted her toes to be red with blood after viciously stabbing someone to death. These were not harmless jokes. They were disturbing signs of obsession with violence. Eventually, both Jacine and Christy pleaded guilty. They were sentenced to 25 years in prison, along with 10 more years of probation. On February 18, 2025, Andre also pleaded guilty. Now 20 years old, he received a 40-year prison sentence and lifetime probation. The murder of Dwight D.J. Grant sent shockwaves through his community. He was just 18 years old, getting ready for homecoming and graduation. His life was stolen over something so senseless. The people who took it were teenagers too, caught up in a spiral of jealousy, rage, and reckless decisions. In a single night, they destroyed not only DJ's future but their own as well. For DJ's family, the pain is never-ending. They live each day with the weight of his absence. And for the families of the 3 teens, there's a different kind of grief.
You know, they were shocked. Everything comes from a mother, and I do care. Even if you're not a parent, I mean, you will feel the emotion of a young child. Life is just taken.
Watching their children lose everything because of one terrible choice. This case is a heartbreaking reminder of how quickly things can go wrong and how important it is to think before acting,